as a black woman, for many of you, I've seen a lot of your faces throughout the entire summer. And it just breaks my heart that we never got to see each other for something positive. And it's always been this every single time. Let me hang up on her. I'm sorry, y'all. She keeps muting me. Hold on, let me just hang up on the fast.
She better understand it. All right. She better understand it.
As a black woman, I took the death of Breonna Taylor personally. And for many of us out here, we travel to Louisville, Kentucky together every single weekend to stand with Tamika Palmer, the mother of Breonna Taylor. And in going to Louisville, you really got to understand that the people in Louisville are really a family. When they said that it was like losing a family member in that community, they meant it. And for 190 plus days, that community showed up and showed out every single day, every single night. I think it's a slap in the face that you see some people out here that got arrested protesting on Daniel Cameron's lawn. It's a slap in the face that the same felony that those protesters got sitting on the lawn of Daniel Cameron, not causing him or his wife harm.
You mama?
Y'all know. Causing him or his wife harm is the same level felony that the officer received today. That's a slap in our faces. And it just breaks my heart that we every time we come together, you know, I really felt like this would be different. I really felt I had some glimpse of hope. And now I can't help but to think about what will happen to the rest of the cases. And so I know we know the name Daniel Cameron. I want to say this name clearly. Christopher M. Carr is the Attorney General of the state of Georgia. And I think it's very important that when you have cases like Floyd, like George Floyd, you have cases like Rayshard Brooks and Jamarion Robinson, we know the name Daniel Cameron. But do we know the name? Yeah, thank you. Do we know the name Christopher M. Carr? Christopher M. Carr is the Attorney General for the state of Georgia. And we're telling Christopher Carr today that it's time for him to do the right thing. Because we have two cases in the state of Georgia right now that had just the same amount of, publicity as Breonna Taylor did. And that's for Rayshard Brooks and Ahmaud Arbery. And of course, other cases like Jamarion Robinson and Oscar Kane that we've been highlighting and bringing awareness to for years. Gerald has the shirt on. Jimmy Atchison, Oscar Kane, can you say that name for me? Beltavius Griggs, DeAndre Phillips, and yeah, we'll be here all night. Yeah, we have. I mean, there's so many cases. But as a black woman, the thought that I could be laying in my bed and rogue off asleep beside my significant other, and rogue officers could barge into my home and just shoot. They did the press conference today and didn't even mention her name one time. Let that sink in. They did a press conference and spoke. And her mom had to sit in that room. And they didn't even have the decency to say her name one time. Enough is enough. I'm tired. And when I got the news today, I was literally on a conference call. I literally had to turn off everything. I felt like I was punched in the chest. I felt like I felt like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't believe what was really going on in the world today. And I cried so much today, I don't even think I could cry anymore. And I'm shaking now, even just being up here. I just have to ask, when is enough going to be enough? You know, like we show up, we did what we need to do in the primaries. You know, we show up, we show out to the polls. We know black women vote more than anyone else. Black women show up to the polls, they vote. When are these people, when are the Daniel Camerons of the world going to do what they were put in positions of power to do for us? And I I have a plea to the candidates running for Senate, for the candidates running for Congress. I know we have someone here. For the candidates running for president, talk to the people at the margins and do more. I feel like a lot of people believe that because they're elected officials and we're just supposed to show up to the polls in November, they're not doing enough for my vote. You want my vote? Talk about police reform, real police reform. Talk about investing money that you would in police departments in communities of color and issues that are impacting our communities. I'm sick of this. I'm tired. And Daniel Cameron is an example of your skinfolk ain't always your kinfolk. So I'm holding all of the elected officials in Georgia, in Kentucky, in Minneapolis accountable for what they are and are not doing, because they're not doing enough. It's crazy to me that in Minneapolis they can talk about defunding the police, but right here we have black leadership and we can't even get accurate policy passed. I'm tired of allowing them to slide just because they look like me. It's time for us to hold these people accountable. They want us to go and vote in November. I will be voting in November, but what are you going to do to earn my vote? What are you going to do to make me continue to encourage my community to show up and vote? And so again, remember the name Christopher M. Carr. I feel like we continue to talk about Jimmy Atchison. We continue to talk about Oscar Kane. Jamarion Robinson's mother, she'll tell you, has been fighting for a very long time with little to no help. I'm happy that the activists have begun to support her. But it's time for us to also put the pedal to the metal on people like Christopher M. Carr and now Fannie Lewis. Is that her name? Fannie Willis. And Victor here. We'll talk about him another. Batman. We'll talk about him another day. I do want to allow Jared to bring up. I really want this to be more of an open space and forum where if you've come to protests that we've organized before, we allow people to just have a moment to just say whatever is on their minds. I know people's thoughts and minds are like racing and they want to say something and they want to do something. So I'm giving you this opportunity to say whatever is on your heart. Don't be afraid. Like, we need this. We need this space. We need this moment. And while you all let me know who wants to come up here and speak, I'll allow Mabel to say something.